Hello, everybody. Welcome to the episode 11 of Let's Rap Podcast. This is philosophical, of course.
And I'm your co-host Jay Echo. What's good, y'all?
And this is pretty much the interview with Jaime Woods part two.
So yeah, guys. It's very important to set yourself apart in both in person and social media, because like the problem is there's too many guys doing the same things, and the thing is with so much competition out there now with Tinder, Bumble, like girls get hit on all day, every day. They get hit on by everybody. The postman. They even get hit on by chicks. So it's like, how you gonna set yourself apart from the rest of the competition? Because at the end of the day, dating is very competitive. It's almost like a sport, you know. So the way you have to be competitive, the way you can make yourself stick out is by really taking care of yourself as a person, kind of having standards and expectations out of people that you date, holding them accountable, holding yourself accountable. It goes both ways. You just have to really stick yourself out. And social media, like I said, it's the photos. Make sure the stories are good. Make sure that you're always doing something on social media. In person, you got to make sure that you pick up on things, because sometimes girls are throwing things at you and they want you to approach them. Of course, if you're attracted to them, go ahead. If you're not, it is what it is. You're not forced to doing anything, but the option is there. You can still approach them. And when you do approach them, just make sure that you aren't nervous. And I know that's easier said than done, because you're going to be nervous regardless. I'm still nervous to this very day. However, I hide it better. I've noticed that I hide the nervousness better because I don't take the conversation entirely seriously. And I don't mean that as disrespect. I mean it as, I don't take it seriously as if I fail, if the girl doesn't end up liking me, it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's you can sleep better at night knowing that, hey, I made the move. She wasn't into me. It is what it is. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, every time they had one bad game, they bounced back the next game, because they understood that one game doesn't make a career. One game doesn't make someone's life. So one rejection isn't the worst thing in the world. Rejection is actually a great thing. It teaches us certain things about life that other things can't. Like rejection taught me that I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And that doesn't mean exactly that I'm a bad person or I'm an unattractive person. It just means that, you know, that one girl out of the million doesn't like me. Guess what? There's a million other girls that may like me. And that's the way you have to look at it. And that's how you kind of get rid of that anxiety of talking to people or girls. That's that's the mentality you got to have.
I would like to add on to that because, well, in a different aspect
Mm-hmm.
though, because like one of the things I do is one of my jobs. I'm an educator. Like I teach people, and one thing that I've heard that sort of took the pressure off a little bit was nobody knows how much you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So to tie it back to what you were just saying, like nobody knows what's going on in your head, right? Like if you're nervous, if you're feeling some type of way, nobody knows except by the way you present yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I'm teaching or when I'm running through stuff with a student, all I all I can really do is present what I know. At that point, I'm a subject matter expert to them, but like that's all they really know about the situation. Like he seems to know what he's talking about, right? Now, by all means, know what you're talking about, but if the subject is yourself, you know yourself or you should know yourself better than anybody. So when you're walking into a situation, it's not about like, and this is one of the ways that I've been trying to talk myself out of being like shy and everything like that. It's not about what they think of you, it's about how you present yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm putting myself out there. They don't know me from anybody. So as long as I present myself well, at that point the decision's on them. You know, sure, you
Mhm.
can make mistakes and everything like that, but at the end of the day, as long as you're being real about who you are and going in with the right mindset, you're good. like I
It's all
like
mindset, man. Life is all
yeah.
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah.
But as you were
So
saying, buddy.
That's definitely a good conversation where life is all mindset. That's gonna be another episode because I tend to very totally agree with that point.
but to that point, let me ask you, both of you actually.
Hmm.
So what would your suggestions be for like me for a very long time, and even still, like I have issues with self-esteem. And you know, in a lot of what you're talking about is good, but it also has to do with how high is your self-esteem?
Hmm.
How do you
True.
feel about yourself? So what
So
would
I think in my opinion, low self esteem is kind of a mindset of how you kind of view yourself. It's a confidence thing. It's a
you,
confidence. Like if you're like getting up or in any situation, if you're feeling like, man, I don't feel good in these clothes. I feel like I'm not gonna talk to a woman because I don't feel good in these clothes, or I feel like I'm not gonna get a woman because of the clothes I'm wearing. Just as an example, like it's all about mindset to where you can put yourself in a position to make yourself feel more confident in yourself. If you don't like what you're wearing, all right, switch it up. You know, feel more confident in what you're wearing to the fact that confidence it is also a mindset where confidence will bring you what you want in a totally different package. It's all about, a lot of people have this thing where, being cocky and overconfident or even having swag. That's a mindset. You know what I mean? It's a mindset to where like you said, if you're going to the gym in your sweatpants and like your tight shirt, your gym shirt, that's his confidence. That's his esteem to where, you know, half the battle is like, I'm gonna show off what I'm good at. You know what I mean? Working out, being in the gym, showing that, you know what I mean, I'm ambitious. That's a sign of ambition. When you're in the gym working out 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, that's his ambition. That's the mindset because having that workout is regiment is a mindset to where, yeah, I make myself feel good, I make myself look good, and we go out in the streets, you feel good. You know what I'm saying? So low self-esteem is a mindset to where it's been placed on you, maybe to the fact that people say you can't do something, or people say you're not supposed to feel that way. Nah, that's not necessarily true. Feel the way you want to feel. If you want something, go out and get it. You know what I mean? If you like you said, we said on the last episode, like, a lot of men, we feel complacent and comfortable to the fact that, we don't want to work. If you want to work, go out and work. You know what I'm saying? It's low self-esteem to me is is a mindset that you've been programmed to feel and think that way. So just basically, in my opinion, just change that mindset, dude. If you don't like the way something is, you know, put yourself around a good support system to do something about it. You know what I mean?
yep.
So I don't know if you've got some things to add to that, Jamie.
Well, I think you said it really well. I mean, there's nothing I really could say could beat that. But however, I'm gonna put my own little twist on it. So instead of talking about what low self-esteem is and all that type of stuff, which I
Hmm.
100% agree, it is a mindset. I want to also kind of talk about what you can do, or anybody that's watching this can do to kind of get rid of it. You can't always get rid of it entirely, but you can do something to help out with it. So in my opinion, or from my experience, how I dealt with that, because guess what, guys, I wasn't always um as good as I am now, for example. And I'm not saying that I have the biggest self-esteem in the world, because that's a lie. Yeah, I'm a normal human being. I have my days where I feel like shit. I have my days where I feel like the man,
Mhm.
but I'm not really like a really arrogant or cocky person. I'm actually very humble to the core. But I remember back in middle school and high school, sometimes I had like a low self-esteem, because the problem was, guess what? I was locked in the house for most of the time. I came from, I wouldn't say a bad household, because my mom was always there for me. My mom was always supportive. I love my mom, but she was really never there as much because she was working. She was a single mother. And so sometimes the people she would be dating weren't always the best of people. So I
Mm.
grew up with people like that, never truly loving me, never, because they ain't gonna like you like that. You're not really their son, you're just someone that's there. So I grew up with that mentality of never feeling good enough because I never had that father figure. I never had that father figure to be there in my life to kind of raise me to be a man. I had to become a man of my own. You know what I mean? So that self-esteem, that lack of confidence came from all that. So you have to see, where does it stem from? What is the root of this low self-esteem? You have to really look in the mirror and be like, all right, like, why do I feel the way that I feel? What happened in my past? What experience happened? What is it about myself? Another thing I was very insecure about, that brought down my self-esteem, was the fact that I was very overweight. And being
Mm.
overweight is a killer when it comes to confidence. And this is an issue because overweight men can still get attractive women, whether you want to realize it or not. It's just the confidence isn't there. Most overweight men aren't confident. And so they're not going to be able to pull the woman they want, because women are attracted to confidence.
Yeah.
And so, well, yeah, that's the thing about low self-esteem and obesity, or being overweight, is it kind of correlates a little bit there. So that's what happened to me. So not until I lost the weight recently, where I'm like, like, I feel a little more confident. Like, I'm putting a lot of work in. And that's the thing, you got to put work into yourself, invest into yourself. So once you do find those problems, work on those problems. If you can't change it, accept it. Me, for example, I sweat a lot. I'm a big sweater. I'm not sweating now, but in the summertime, I have this condition called hyperhidrosis. I talk about it in some of my videos. So what happens is I'll sweat for no reason. Do you know how scary that is on a date, when you're with a very attractive girl and you're sweating your balls off
Hmm.
and it's not even that hot?
I can only imagine, bro.
You
And
can
you're not,
say you're
yeah,
extremely nervous.
yeah, and they're gonna assume you're nervous, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're actually more nervous at the fact that you're sweating more than
Yeah.
than your actual date. Like, and that's the thing. So that plagued me for most of my life. And what I had to do, I had to realize what the things were. Like I told you guys, from my past, where I grew up in a household where I didn't feel good enough, and so that carried on over. I had to work on that. I had to
Hmm.
work on the sweating. I had to see what products are out there. What can I do to control this? I found out there's nothing out there that can um that can, what's it called, that can treat it. But what I can do is accept it. At the end of the day, I'm not a perfect person. You have to come to acceptance with certain aspects in your life, or certain qualities about yourself you can't change. So if you can't change it, accept it. Try.
Mm.
I know it's not the easiest thing to do, but over time you got to do that. And if there's things you can work on, then work on those things. Like I was overweight. I had to work on that. Work on
Mm.
things and accept. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, nobody is perfect. Even those models, Kim Kardashian, all those girls you see on TV, they're not, trust me, they're not all that. Like, they have certain things about themselves that they don't even like either. So
Yeah.
it goes every way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in addition to that, I like, and this is something that I personally struggle with. Let's say you are doing the work. Let's say you are making the strides and everything like that. How do you get over the some people call it imposter syndrome or whatever, but when what's it called? How do you say you get out of the mindset of, oh, I just have to keep working, I'm not good enough, to, oh, I'm here now? Like what's how what would you say is the best way to, like, I guess, benchmark yourself, or whatever term you want to put to it?
To be honest with you, I'm still not at where I want to be. So I can't entirely answer that question.
Mhm.
And the reason why I say that is also because I have this mentality. Um, like, so how I was talking to you guys about it when I was growing up, I didn't feel ever good enough.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I healed it a little bit, but at the same time, I've taken that mentality with me when it comes to training, when it comes to bettering myself. Because the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
the problem is, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of these athletes, the reason why you see them become stale and become not as great as they used to be is because they think they're the shit. They think they don't have to do any more work. That's what happens. They let it get to their heads. However, me, I have experienced minor successes in my life. However, I keep going through them and keep improving. And because I feel that I'm never good enough. I always take that mentality with me. I'm like, okay, like I got what this many people this year, or I got this much money this year, or this whatever it was. Guess what? Next year I'm gonna get more. I always think it's never good enough. And
Yeah. Yeah.
while it's never really the best mindset to have, it does have its pros. So that's what I can't entirely answer that question. It wouldn't be fair because I'm not there yet. If the best people to ask would be like big time A-list celebrities. I would ask them that question because they're going through it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys and be like, oh, like I'm the man, like I'm a celebrity, I make this much money, because I'm not. I'm a small time YouTuber. I live in Jersey. I don't live in a mansion. I'm whatever. I'm still going there. I'm still on my path,
I
just like you
appreciate
guys
your
are.
honesty.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie here, tell you I'm above someone. So I can't entirely
Exactly.
answer that question.
I mean, I think you did without even meaning to. Like, I think that's exactly it. Just like you're never going to internally believe you are good enough. It's just about staying on the path, staying on the grind, basically.
But
Continue.
you always. I'm sorry to interrupt, man.
I know you're good.
But I have to say things, not to cut you, but it's basically to say it before I forget.
Hmm.
But it's quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it always needs a balance. So at the same time, I have that because it pushes me. It holds
Mhm.
me accountable. Like, oh man, I made this much. I got to make more. But at the same time, you need a balance where, okay, bro, you're that dude. Like, know your value, know your worth. You need both sides of it.
Gotcha.
So talk about kind of at the point where, let's say, for example, let's talk about your circumstance, but let's flip it a little bit here. Let's say, for example, you're in the gym, you're on the ropes, and the woman comes up to you and says, "Hey, can I use the ropes?" And there may be three other ropes there. So obviously, you're at a point where um that's kind of that's what I call a woman's way of her way of saying the quote unquote high. You know what I mean? But let's flip it a little bit here. Let's say that you like, sure, yeah, and you spark a conversation with her, and you're like, oh, you like throwing ropes? I'm here 6 days a week. You guys kind of pop off a good conversation. You guys,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I give it, I call it the 2 to 5 minutes. You got
Hmm.
2 to 5 minutes
That's how it is.
yeah. You got
Yeah.
2 to 5 minutes to say your name, who you are, how you are, and, can I get your number type of conversation.
Mm.
Let's say that happened. You guys been, you know, the vibe's going well, everything's good. Now, this is the part where a lot of people kind of mistake. You know, when you meet somebody out in the world, it's completely different than when you're sitting down with somebody having a conversation.
Mhm.
So kind of talk about that, man. What are some steps we as men gotta do to kind of, all right, because that first date is the interview.
Mhm.
That's your way of setting yourself apart. Because you going out to dinner with a woman and she accepting and saying yes, that's her way of saying, okay, show me how you're different than the other 20 men. And
I have a slight caveat. See, the first date should be the interview. It's not always the interview from on the dude's side. Sometimes it's
that's
just
true. That's true. That's true. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's true because we could be it could be different agendas. It
yeah,
could be
yeah.
different agendas.
But
Okay,
but
all
go
right.
ahead, man. Go ahead.
Let's speak of it from a perspective of, all right. Let's just keep it real. If you're just trying to hit, or you're in an older space to where you're trying to make things on a more serious. So let's look at it from both perspectives, because it is a game. It is a game at the end of the day. It's just, which game are you playing? Are you playing a game of being a player, or are you playing a game of, all right, you wanna make things serious? So and you can kind of answer that too, Jay, from your perspective of like,
Okay. Yeah.
uh,
I'll let Jamie go first because kind of did cut off his answer.
yeah, yeah,
So first off, with interview with the whole first date, for example, right?
uh-huh,
Because I know you guys are speaking of it as an interview. However, if you could get one, if there's one common theme throughout this entire interview, it's mindset. It's all mindset. It ain't the looks, it ain't the money, it ain't the cars, it ain't the one. It's the mindset. Because when I
mm,
go into a first date, I don't think about this is an interview for me to get the job. This is an interview for her to get the job. Now, it
oh,
may seem arrogant
okay,
and cocky, but it's actually not. Like, because the end of the day, guys, what we have to realize about women is that they want to be with a man that's the prize. They always date up. Women never date down, they date up.
mm,
So that's the thing. Like, and occasionally you will see women date down, but that says that's a whole nother issue for a whole nother thing. For the most part, girls date up. They're not idiots. They date up. You know, us guys is the opposite. Sometimes we date down. So that's the thing. Like, I hold myself to I wouldn't say a high standard because I'm not really anyone, you know, like I'm not Drake or someone like that, but I know my worth. So
mhm.
if I'm over here paying for the date, like why do I also gotta interview for the job? So I'm taking you on a steak dinner and I gotta like convince you why you should be with me. Like, no, that's not what girls like. Girls like it when they gotta do the chasing, when they gotta be the one to convince you. They want to be in that feminine state, and that's what guys don't understand. Is that like when you're convincing a woman to be with you, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable feminine state. You're
Mm,
demonstrating to her that she's above you. And when a girl sees you above you, guess what? They're gonna treat you like a fan. You don't want to
mm,
be the fan. You want to be the celebrity she looks up to. You want to be
mm.
that guy that she looks up to. Most of these girls that yeah, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
So that reminds me of some advice I got a long time ago, and it kind of helped me through life. Make a
Mm-hmm.
woman fall in love with you. Make a woman fall in love with you. Because if she falls in love with you, she cherishes not only who you
Mm-hmm.
are, what you look like, but what you're about. You know what I mean? So, but go ahead. That's a very good point. That's a very good point for
So
our
so
listeners.
nobody's gonna say it either. So a lot of people gonna say, "Oh yeah, if she doesn't pay attention to you, keep texting her, keep talking to her, keep blah 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 blah
Hmm.
blah." Nah, man, you gotta understand. Like, girls are simple creatures. We overcomplicate females. Girls are very
Mm,
easy. Either they like you or they don't like you. There's no in between. Sometimes you might be able to get them to like you. That happens. But for the
hmm.
most part, a girl can immediately tell the first few seconds, I want this guy to rail me out. I want this guy to clap these cheeks, or I want this guy to be my friend. I want him to be my girlfriend. You know, I don't really like him that much. Ew, he's a creep. They already know this. 5 seconds, 10
Yeah,
seconds in.
yeah,
As soon as you open your mouth, they already know what they want out of you. The same thing with us guys. We see a female from far. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. You know, you already know what you're doing. You already know what you want. You
hmm,
know, so the girls are the same way. So, like, if a girl likes you, trust me, they're gonna make it known. They're not gonna tell
yeah,
you,
yeah.
but they're gonna make it known by their actions.
Hmm,
You know, just
hmm.
always see what they do. Don't always listen to what they say. Like, listen to it, obviously. You know, they're talking to you, but don't always take everything like so seriously what she says. Like, look at her actions. How is she reacting to you? Does she like it when you touch her? Is she smiling around you? Does she have those googly eyes when she's around you?
Hmm.
How is she looking at her phone? Is she looking away from you? Is she looking at other people? Is she These are little cues that a girl's giving you that, hey, either I'm into you or I'm not into you. It's you as a man to be able to pick that apart. And this is why girls go after players, after fuck boys, because they can pick it apart. They have that experience. The so-called quote unquote nice guy doesn't have that because they've been so brainwashed by these movies to believe that women want the guy to always chase and do this and do that. When in reality, that's not what they truly want. And most girls won't admit it. They won't tell you. In fact, they probably don't even know what they're even attracted to. But sometimes even us as guys, sometimes we don't know what we're attracted to exactly. Like, we're like, damn, like this girl, like she looks good, but she a bitch. But I don't know why I'm with her. Like, sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about females too. Sometimes they don't understand why it is that they're into what it is that they're into.
So back to you made a point where men are with this person. They don't know why they're with them. That's a very good point. Kind of going into that. What's your perspective on that? And I would love to hear your opinion on it, Jay. What's your perspective of men that are with women that they have no reason why?
You want to hear
Uh,
from me first or Jay? Oh yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, go ahead,
Go
Jay.
ahead.
so for me, it goes back to what's it called? For me, it goes back to self-esteem, right?
Mm.
Like something that Jamie said that I agree with is like know your value. Like if you go into a situation and you know like, oh, I am actually like I'm bringing something to this table, so you're not just going to treat me any type of way, then you go in with, like he said, with like we've been preaching basically this entire show. You go in with standards, you go in with expectations, and so like once you draw that line, nobody's going to walk all over it. You establish that early. But there are people who and this is men, women, whoever. There are people who they don't know their value. They've either been, whether it's through social pressures or whatever the case may be, they've been convinced that they have no value, or they don't bring anything to the table, whatever the case. So when they go into a situation, they treat it like scarcity, essentially. Like this is the only shot I got, so I gotta make this happen, you know, as opposed to, like Jamie was saying, the player goes into a situation like, yo, there's people all over this place that I could talk to or get with or whatever the case may be. So, convince me that you should be one of those people. They walk in with that mentality. Now they might do some other stuff that's kind of horrible. They might treat the other person like garbage, but the mindset that they have going into the situation is, I have value and I bring something to this, and what's it called? And these are my expectations to share that with you, as opposed to the quote unquote nice guy. And I use quote unquote because like the nice guy has convinced himself that, oh, because I am nice, that means you owe this to me, or whatever the case may be. And nobody owes you anything, especially if they have standards and they have expectations. They're like, nah, like, sure, you're doing all this stuff for me, but like, you did that on your own. I didn't ask for it. Like, I didn't expect any of this from you. And like, I'm not going to reciprocate something that I didn't request, I didn't ask for, all of that sort of stuff. You did this on your own. Now, if you had valued yourself in going into the situation, you would be like, okay, do earn this from me, right? Earn this from me. Or if you do want to freely offer it, like, know that, yes, I'm freely offering it, but this is my choice, this is my decision. And do it for that, not, oh, you owe me now, because nobody owes you anything. Nobody, like, walking into, you will find out real quick, the older you get, nobody owes you anything. What you earn is built off of your hard work, your investment, what you put out there. Like the energy you put out is the energy you'll get back. But at the same time, people decide what energy they're going to put out, you know. So if you put out positive energy and you get negative energy back, it's like, it's not like you did something. It's That's the energy that person's putting out right now. Cool.
Mm.
I'm not messing with you then.
Yeah.
And a lot, I think, and this goes back to the social media discussion and all of that sort of stuff. Like, there are so many things that have distracted us from that point or those points. Like, what is your personal value? Not what is the value of all this outside stuff, but what is your personal value?
So do you feel like personal value as a man and a woman, we try to compare it to the fact of what other people have instead of looking at it from a perspective of what we want, how we value ourselves. Because I feel like self esteem played a big part in that. low self-esteem kind of causes us to devalue ourselves and kind of look at what other ones have to try to value ourselves or compare to how they got there. I feel like for me, it's like like Jamie made a good point as far as like, man, I've made my mistakes, man. Jay knows me personally. I've made my mistakes. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
have too.
I've made my mistakes, and I tend to think, and I've told Jay this a couple times. We've kind of gone back and forth about it. Like when I'm in my 30s, I'm in my late 30s, man. And when I was in my 20s, man, between 20 and 30, dude, I was a wild boy. I was a wild dude, man. I wish I would have got this advice when I was in my 20s, man. Because I sit back and I realize, man, a lot of those mistakes that I made, as you get older, man, you think about those things and you harbor on it. And like myself, when you find someone that is right for you, those memories come back, man. So that's why I tell our young guys, our young brothers, man, be careful who you associate yourself with. Be careful the type of woman, the type of man, the type of even our ladies, the type of man you put yourself into because it can affect you later on in life, man. It can affect you later on because when you're married and have kids and as a man, dude, like I've had conversations with people to the fact that there's this initiative where it seems like women go through all the emotional stress and trauma. That is untrue, man. Very untrue. There are times I wake up, and I'm sure you guys on here can attest to that. There are times I wake up and I'm just like, man, dude, like it's like it drains your energy sometimes. It drains you as a man sometimes, and you gotta constantly recalibrate and refocus yourself to the fact that you're in a better place than what you were yesterday. And that's the trick, man. It's like it's a mindset to where you got to constantly be thinking positive, man. Like there are days where, as a man, I don't want to, I don't want to do anything. I just want to chill and be by myself, but I can't do that. You know what I mean? I can't because I've got someone else in my life, and that's the part where a lot of men we got to think about it. That's someone else in your life. Are they right for you? Are they concerned about yourself just as much as you're concerned about them? So that's why I feel like this the discussions we made with the alphas, the betas, the simps, it's all to me, in my opinion, it's all a fairy tale to the fact that we try to look onto others and compare our lives to other people on a way we should act to get to where we want to get to. And I'm telling you right now, from a perspective of being a man that's gone through probably a lot of what we can trade stories here for hours, man.
Mhm.
And a lot of the stories you guys have said on how you guys have met women, dude, I've been there. I've been that sip. I've been that beta. I've been that guy that just uh, you know, going 100%, even 1,000% for a woman that put me in the friend zone for years, for years, man. And there are guys out here that are because I didn't know my worth. And the good thing about it is when you realize your worth, you realize what you've been through and you're tired of being through it, that right person will come into your life. And it's all a matter of being ready for it. You know what I mean? And it's like it's just one of those things, man. That's why it's good that we're all talking. That's why, that's how this whole podcast originated, to get men talking, man, because I can't imagine that I'm the only one in this world that's going through this. You know what I mean? It's just we as men, again, we've been programmed to hold that in, to keep that in, to not talk about it.
It-
So, you know, it's a mindset, but it's also a knowing your value, man. Getting out of like I've said it before, like I've said it on here, I've said it to people before. If you don't like the way something is, change it. How do you change something? You change your mindset. You change the way you think about it. You know what I mean? So we as men, we all have our mistakes. We're men. You know what I mean? That's just who we are. You know what I mean? But we got to hold people accountable, more accountable. We got to change our way of thinking, and we got to change our decision making.
And I think holding people more accountable starts with holding yourself more accountable,
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
balance, I mean, not everything is your fault. I understand that, but like Jamie said, take ownership of the stuff that you can control and accept the stuff that you can't.
Yeah.
And that's not just a man thing. That's an everybody thing. That's a people thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, so Jamie, I mean, we've sort of taken control of things, but what are your sort of do we would it be final thoughts or what are
Nah,
your
nah, that's
thoughts
cute.
on?
Nah, ask me another question. I get it.
All right,
Hey,
cool.
I did. This is the reason. This is the thing here. Like, I feel like I've been talking too much, so I'm like, oh, let me
No,
pull back a
no.
little
Oh
bit.
no, no, no. This is
Yeah,
needed. We talk a
yeah,
lot on the other episodes.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
we brought you in for your perspective because they're gonna get us.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, Jamie, talk about kind of your toxic masculinity in relationships, man.
So toxic masculinity comes from basically insecurities. You're just an
Yeah.
insecure ass dude because like,
Thank
and the
you.
reason why I say that, guys, is because I at one point where I was doing these things. So this is why I can speak on it just a bit. I'm not saying that I'm still am that way because I'm not. But here's the things I used to do. So what I used to do was I used to get with girls, and then as soon as I was getting tired of them, what I would do, and I know I'm gonna be crucified for that, for this whole little thing over here. So as soon as I got tired of them, I would try to like end things on
Mm.
like the smallest bullshit. So this is what happened. This is what I mean by that. So there was this girl I was talking to for a couple months. I kind of didn't really like her like that anymore, but she was a nice person, like I didn't just want to ghost her or whatever. And so what happened was
Oh,
we
so
were at
wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. This concludes episode 11 of the interview. To be continued.